Laurie, it is so good to see you.
It's great to see you too, Steve.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being here for this interview for the ISSA Sustainability Committee. And why don't we just jump right into things? Would you please introduce yourself and your company to the audience and perhaps share just a little bit about why you care about sustainability?
Sure, happy to. So I'm Laurie Sewell, and I'm CEO of Servicon. And Servicon is a custodial maintenance and environmental services company. We typically perform critical services in complex environments like healthcare, aerospace and defense, life sciences. At the heart of what we do, we like to say is we create healthy environments for people to thrive. And so that really leads really well into Steve to that other part of the question, which is why is sustainability deeply personal to me, and why it's important to me is our mission is to create healthy environments where people thrive, and that's the indoor environment as well as the external environment. And so it's not just personal to me. Obviously, I'm a mom and I care about the future, but it's also been a really instrumental part of our business for over 20 years in terms of ensuring that we are performing our work and actually our footprint as a company in general as sustainably as possible. It's actually really improved our business. We've actually attracted a tremendous amount of talent to our organization because of our kind of view and vision for sustainability. So I have actually an interesting story I wanted to share with you. I don't just believe in sustainability because we have to stop the negative things that are happening to the environment. I actually believe that we can reverse some of the effects of climate change. And so my personal story is I moved to Los Angeles in the 1980s, and the smog across the valley was so bad. We had this yellow haze, and it was just part of daily life. That's what it was in LA. But thanks to technology innovation, strong public policy, that's not the case anymore. So I really feel that there's progress to be made with innovation and regulations that allow us to, improve kind of some of the damage that we've caused to the environment.
Well, why don't we keep going down that path and talk about some of the things that, as a contractor, what you've actually done to try to impact that. And for all of you listening, just so you know, Lori's amazing. Okay, and Laurie is actually president of ISSA. Thank you for serving the association so well. But back to my question, what kind of trends are you seeing from your customers, and what kind of things are you doing? And I especially want to encourage you to think about how those things can help, small, medium-sized contractors, and also the people that provide products and support services to that class of our membership.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think some of the trends, I think customers are tying their goals more tightly to ESG, environmental, social, and governance goals. I'm seeing that particularly with our healthcare clients, as just all clients in general. I think the generations, the Z's and the millennials, because I'm above that generation, care more about, what the companies that they work for are doing when it comes to sustainability and when it comes to waste, when it comes to air quality. And so one of the things that I really like to tie to my customers is, the work that we do provides, a healthy environment. This is something they can share those things that they're doing with their potential employees because new entrants into the workforce care about that. They care about if they see that you're recycling or not. They care about, do you have filtration for the indoor air quality, obviously post-COVID as well. So I'd say some of the things that we've been doing, and early on, the things we started doing was very basic, which was really help our clients with their waste stream. How do we become not just a partner that will separate their trash, but a partner that will talk about, what are those streams? What is the best way to do it? What is the way that the cleaning contractor can be integral in designing the setup, how they determine what kind of containers they're going to use or where those containers are. I think we have the same opportunity to do that with indoor air quality. One of the trends that I'm seeing in particular, Steve, is clients starting to relate indoor air quality to the work that we do, the cleaning that we do, the type of cleaning, the types of products that we use, the fact that we're taking the dust out of the environment and not, using old technology. They're also a lot of innovation is coming around the indoor air quality that custodial contractors, even the smaller contractors, can use to help improve the environment for the employees that work in the facilities that they're cleaning.
As you would expect, I get the green product stuff, and I also get the waste stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But will you share some of the other things you're doing, issues beyond the green cleaning parts, what you've done to reduce your footprint, your energy, your transportation,
Yep.
some of those other things that perhaps other service providers aren't yet thinking about?
Right, right. So this is where I think, we talked about how would it apply to a smaller or middle-sized company. This is where I think they have an advantage because we're in the process of converting our fleet to hybrids and EVs, but that's not something we can do overnight, right? We need to age out what we have. We need to have a plan for it. But if you're a smaller provider and your fleet is 5 or 10 vehicles, those types of activities you can do a lot more readily than a company like mine can. So we've actually converting our fleets to hybrids, and we have a fully electric distribution truck, which where we operate in Southern California, we're fortunate because there are a lot of EV charging stations available to us. Our headquarters, we have a LEED Platinum certified building. We did that many years ago. We were the first company in Culver City to have a LEED Platinum facility. We have, one of my favorite stories is we put in, oh gosh, it has to have been 12 to 13 years ago, EV chargers at our headquarters. And at the time, there was only one person that had an electric vehicle. And this is my favorite, Field of Dreams quote, which is if you build it, they will come, right? Well, we had put in, I think, 8 chargers, and within 2 years, they were completely full. People would tell us that they actually decided when they made their purchase for their car because they knew they could get charging at work, that facilitated them buying that. So I look at that as one of those kind of waterfall effects, right? That occurred. We do composting in our office, super easy for people to do. Easy in terms of setting it up. The difficult part is training people and getting the behavior change that you need. So again, if you're a smaller org, you can have those committees, you can have that conversation, you can do those types of things. Steve, I think we worked with G2S, your organization, in capturing and measuring the buildings, the footprint, environmental footprint of all of our buildings. What is the greenhouse gas emission? What is the energy usage? What is our waste, as well as our vehicles? And we're happy to say, I think the first step is just measuring it, then figuring out where you want to go from there. But I always say first step is just know what you're doing today so you can set a goal for tomorrow.
Well, let's continue down that particular path, and thank you for the plug. And for everyone listening in, ISSA's reporting platform is, I think, something that I hope everyone will take a look at. It's industry specific, so the benchmarking be incredibly valuable. But let's continue talking about what people who are just starting on their journey you might recommend to them.
Yeah. One of the things I say is don't try to do everything at once. Pick 1 or 2 focus areas, like waste diversion or energy use, or even just general recycling in your facility, or for your clients, and track your baseline. I also like to recommend that you engage every department, find your sustainability wars. Just don't do it with a small group. You'd be surprised that, we have people in our finance team that are really, really personally engaged in, sustainability and green products, and as well as just environmental sustainability. And they're huge, like influencers, I guess you would say, not the client on TikTok, but they're the internal influencers of the decisions that we make, and not just deciding what we should do, but helping it be sticky. So they'll bring great ideas, but they'll also, be those warriors, the sustainability warriors on your team. So really find that committee that wants to do that kind of work. And you'd be surprised where you might find people to do that. It's the person that brings in their own water bottle and fills it up over and over again. The person that's already driving that hybrid vehicle. Those are the people that would make great committee members.
Well, I think there's a lot of wisdom in that, right? Build your team, right? Build your internal team. Start small, start almost with anything. Get,
Yep.
The low-hanging fruit, right?
I always say start anywhere. Just start. Find something that you can commit to, you can stick with, you can measure, and then you can set goals and have a story. And then you do it with the next thing, and you do it with the next thing. It doesn't happen. You don't do everything. Don't bite off more than you can chew, because it's not going to be sticky, and you're not going to be able to be successful.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you two challenging questions. You ready?
Okay.
Give me an example of something you did that actually either made you money or saved you money. All right. And then the other part of that is tell me something that you specifically did for your people. So not about the cars or the vehicles or
Hmm.
putting, solar panels on your building, but the
Hmm.
social equity related component. Because as a service provider, that really is your primary impact is
Hmm.
your people.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
tell me some things that saved you or made you money. Tell me what you did for your people.
Okay. Saved and made money. Well, I'll give you one that's pretty like a direct line, and then one that's a little less obvious. So saved us money. Yeah, definitely our cool roof on our building, our the electrical panels that we have solar panels that actually power our electric vehicle chargers. So that was like a net break even. So we have the vehicle chargers that aren't costing us anything because they're being powered by the solar panels. So internally, that was a great saving. And our energy, we actually have a dashboard when you walk in our office, and you could see when we're using energy and when we're not, because we're in Southern California, we get sun all the time. So our electricity bill was, minimal, practically nothing. So that's a money saving. Money making, I will say, is you'd be surprised how many employees, when I onboard every one of our exempt employees, how many employees will say, I want to work for a company that does sustainable things like you. I see it. You have this building. I see you talk about it. We see you do that work. We believe that you are a company that cares about the environment. We've seen you we actually started a donor advised fund called Servicon Cares, where we do work within the communities, and we offer volunteer opportunities to our team members to go out and do that work. And you'd be shocked at how many people have said, that's why I want to come work for you guys. It wasn't necessarily, obviously the role or the package that's important, but like the deciding factor to them was the work that we do in this category and the social responsibility. We've actually, we have a head of ESG. And so far as our social impact goes, we do some really fun stuff. And we have 2,500 employees. So anytime we do something that impacts each employee, if you think about it from a cost perspective, it can be very costly. So one of the things that we work really hard in is finding those things that we can do that can be impactful, but also aren't as don't cost, millions of dollars to implement. And so we have a team called the Better Future Working Team, and a Better Working Future Team. And that is a group that meets, I think, every 2 months to talk about what we can do for mostly our frontline teams. So some of the things that have come out of that is we recently have invested in, there's a product called SNOO, SNOO. This is not a pitch. But basically it's for new parents for their babies, and it basically rocks and identifies, the baby's, sleeping patterns and has proven to give parents of newborns significantly more hours of sleep a night. And so I think we've had 15 of them so far. So any one of our employees who has a newborn in their household gets this product, gets the SNOO for, I think it's 3 months in their home, which is fantastic. And we just recently had a couple of people in here who were giving their testimonials that it's been a huge benefit to them. We do something small called the Gobble Gift, which is a voucher for $25 for any kind of groceries anywhere for every one of our employees. And you'd be shocked, out of everything that we've done, that is the most well-received thank you and benefit that we've done for our field teams. We have a scholarship fund that we do that we have 8 employees' children who have an opportunity every year to get a scholarship. And that's not just for higher ed, it's also for a 2-year or apprenticeship programs, because we understand that not everybody is going the route of higher education. So those are just some of the things that we've done from a social impact perspective internally.
Well, that's awesome. I think I want to apply.
You want the Gobble Gift? You got to get in here before Thanksgiving, Steve.
No, I think I want the one where we get more sleep.
Oh, I know, but you got to have a baby for that, and I'm done with the babies.
Well, Carrie calls me a baby sometimes, so
So
okay,
maybe we could see if you'd qualify.
that's right. All right, so thank you for everything you've suggested. Any last thoughts or comments you'd like to share with the group?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that sustainability, it's not optional. It's not optional. It's really part, I think, of running a responsible business. And clients are just expecting it. It's the ante. It's not a nice to have. It is, they really do want to understand, what are you doing in this area with your footprint, as well as how you're coming into our facility and helping us with ours. I don't think it's just compliance or reporting. It's really just about doing the right thing. Our impact report, we actually title it "Doing Well by Doing Right," and that's kind of our ethos and how we operate our business in general. And sustainability, obviously, there's so much we can do well in that do right in that category that will actually benefit in our company doing better. And I've seen it. The more we've invested in that, we've continued to grow, and our bottom line has been growing as well.
I think that's a great closing point. One of the things that the Sustainability Committee has fundamentally been based on is the basic sense that sustainability is simply good business.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in business, right? We're not a charity, we're not a nonprofit, but there are things that we can do that will help the top line, gain more customers, help the bottom line, or excuse me, reduce expenses.
Yep.
By things like what you've done with your vehicles and, the other things. So I'm totally on board, and hopefully we all can have more successful businesses and make the world a better place at the same time.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad, Steve, that you and I have been working together for so long, being able to see that when we do that, we are successful. We're still here. We're still doing well.